I'm Eric Pointer.
I'm Luke Petty, and we're the co-founders of AgentJet.
AgentJet is an online lead generation company formed in 2009. Luke and I started that company at that time. And then we later sold it, of course, to Elm Street Technology in 2018. We provided online lead generation and CRM services to agents all over North America, the United States and Canada. And we're really proud of that company. We built it from scratch, and it was an awesome time, wasn't it?
Yeah, and a little bit about the backstory there. We are both practicing agents for a long time, and so that business was birthed out of us actually working in the trenches and being the market in the real estate vertical and seeing a need for a better way to generate traffic and leads and stuff like that online. And so we first started doing some of the things that we did at AgentJet in our own personal business, and then that translated into, hey, wait a second, this is bigger than our local marketplace. And that's kind of how AgentJet, the path, how we from where we started to eventually sell into Elm Street.
Yeah, and what we did was we began as a chief cook and bottle washers. So we actually drew up the plans for the business at a bar next to our real estate office. And we sketched it out on a napkin and we made it come to life. And as entrepreneurs, there's nothing cooler than that. I had scheduled to go to the National Association of Realtors event in San Diego. No, it wasn't San Diego. It was in Chicago in 2018. In anticipation of going there, I wanted to meet some of the other CEOs at some of the rival companies. And I started looking them up on LinkedIn, and I ran across Prem, and I thought, I've never met this guy. I know most of the people in the vertical. I want to meet him. So I called him. I actually, LinkedIned him. I messaged him. And he messaged me back, and we decided we would meet in Chicago. And so we met there. I remember I arrived in Chicago, my wife and I got a text from him. And he said, hey, why don't you stop by the hotel? Our whole team is here. So I said to my wife, showtime. So I grabbed my laptop and walked into this beautiful hotel in downtown Chicago and texted Prem. I didn't know him from the Man on the Moon. And he raised his hand and said, hey, Eric, come on over here. Called a couple of guys from the table from his team. And I opened up my laptop. I did about a 5-minute review of our product and what we do for a living. And he looked at me and said, this is serendipity. I'm going to buy your company. And I said, really? That's awesome. Let's talk later. And that's how it happened. And that was in November of 2018. And then by February of 2019, we had closed the deal.
We were already kind of teeing up, getting ourselves ready to start going down the path of exploring maybe, selling the company or joining forces with somebody else, so to speak. And so we were getting some of our things in place that we needed to do that. And so the timing of it was kind of early for us, because the next logical step may have been for us down the road is to more officially go down an M&A path and get a broker to help us, broker the deal. But Eric being Eric, he just worked his way in there really nice, and that was just a good meeting between him and Prem. And so when he came back and shared with me more of the details, and of course we talked about it a little bit before he went out there, and when he came back and shared the details, I didn't think too much of it, honestly. I just thought it'd be a good connection. But when he came back, it was like, man, this might have some legs to it. And there was a lot of, even in the early description of what Elm Street was trying to do and just what Prem was talking about with Eric, I was like, this could be a good fit. And so then it just progressed from there.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I actually texted, I don't know if you recall this, but I texted him from the NAR convention, and I said, I think we just sold the company. And of course, he knows me well enough to know he needs the details, right? He needs the details. He's the detail guy of the company anyhow. Yeah. And,
We got there, though, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm the sales guy and he's the detail guy. So we were really excited to meet with Prem. He saw what we were doing, what Luke was doing specifically, and decided we gotta do this. And it was exciting for us, We had never gone down the path as entrepreneurs. We had never worked for anybody else for the most part in our lives. And so the idea of working for another person just freaked us out, because we're so used to making our own decisions all the time.
I could probably count on one hand the amount of times that I've actually been an employee somewhere where I've worked for somebody else, all the way back from high school. Before that, right? I just have been my own kind of boss. So I was always kind of apprehensive about that part of it. and what was that going to feel like. But I had got enough warm fuzzies from talking with Prem and just all about it that I felt, yeah, I think this could work, man. And so fast forward now that we, this years later when we've done that, I think it's been great, right? It's a really good blend for me of still having that ownership, entrepreneur mentality and being able to operate that way, while also having a lot of the pros that come along with being an employee, right? They both have pros and cons. And if this video is being watched by anybody that's a business owner and yourself, there's pros and cons to both of them, right? So for me personally, it's been great, man. It's been a good blend of, I think, a lot of pros from both of those camps. So
When you decide to join another company, it's not just about the acquisition, the merger, or whatever you want to call it. It's really about your own personal growth, right? We were still young and had a lot of energy left in us. But we didn't have the resources.
What are you saying? We don't now?
But we didn't have the resources, the backing, the sort of the talent pool behind us to help us grow and become better at what we're great at. And so now we can stay in our lane and do the things that we're wired to do, that we're totally wired to do without having to wear so many hats.
We all think we're Superman and that we can do it all. And so it is tough there. And so like what Eric was saying, although he's a brilliant guy, really smart and all that, he has a certain skill set, and it's the same with me. And we recognize we hit that kind of ceiling where we need help to kind of take things to the next level, and so it's not really bowing out. It's just, you get to a point and it makes sense. And for us, it was a great move. It righted the ship in a lot of ways.
If you're an employee and you're thinking about coming to Elm Street, it's a great company. And you'll be able to realize your full potential here, irregardless of the department that you end up in. It is a growing company. The benefits are amazing. Compensation is great. The offices are fantastic. The services that they provide are awesome. It is a great place to work. If you're a company who wants to join Elm Street, I would say, think about where you are right now and where you want your dream to go, right? Can you take it there really by yourself? If you can, cool, do it. If you think you need help, this is a great option for you, just a great option. And the key is you build something. Like, we're creative people and we build something. We don't want to see it sort of wither, and we also don't want to see it flounder, right? We want to see that thing grow. And whether it's us individually or as a team like we were, as a partnership, sometimes you just need a little bit more wind beneath your wings, more insight,
Everybody's great. It's a great group of people to work with. There's not a lot of drama that we have all the time, and just, frictions and all, that's an important thing, I think, when you're thinking about being an employee. The other thing about being an employee, I think, is, being a tech company where we have people working all over the country, I think we do a pretty good job of, connecting and creating a culture and a community with us all being spread out like that. But yeah, that's the biggest thing that I would say to people that are contemplating joining the team as a business owner, and you have some hesitancy about some of the stuff in terms of control. And, this is, I think, about as good as you're going to find that I've heard, that I've been around, in terms of preserving some autonomy, right? And also being structured. And so it's back to that thing for me, pros and cons of being a business owner and being an employee or an executive somewhere. And I feel like this is a good blend of a lot on the pro side out of both of those columns, right? With very few cons between the two of them. So yeah, really happy. And I would encourage anybody to take a hard look at joining the company, and don't let that be a blocker, right? If that's a concern.
Yeah, even if you have a dog, one of our benefits is that we have this little extra comp for a dog. It's like the pet food fee. Who would have guessed that? Who has that? We do. So join us.